Hi, I'm Sarah from White Gecko Craft Lounge, and today I'm going to show you how to do the Tumbling Leaves block, which is part of the Tumbling Leaves quilt, which you can hopefully see behind me. This pattern comes with the Harbour Springs charm pack, which is available on the Chanda website, but you can use any charm pack at all with this, or if you don't have a charm pack, you can cut 5-inch squares from your fabric you've got in your stash. You can also adapt it as well. It could be used with a layer cake or even a little tiny mini charm pack. Play around with your sizes. Today I'm going to be using, like I said, the Harbour Springs, which is this lovely range of blues and reds and pinks. It's got kind of a slightly nautical feel to it. But I'm also going to be using a Bella Solid charm pack, which is all creams, and it saves a lot of cutting. So we're going to start by taking some of your cream background squares, and I'm just going to grab one of them to start with. You need 36 in total, okay? And so from the 36, you're going to cut them all exactly the same way. I'm going to use my 2.5-inch ruler. This is one of the White Gecko ones, which again are available on Chanda's website. Line this up with my left-hand side, and then use my rotary cutter, cut right up nice and cleanly. I've now got two rectangles. You're going to put one of them aside. This now measures 2.5 by 5, and you're going to need those for later on, so pop those aside. And on the other piece, you're going to cut that in half again. So again, I'm just going to line up my ruler with the left-hand side. I like to put horizontal along there as well, just so that I know it's nice and square. And I'm going to cut a 2.5-inch square. I've now got two, okay? Next thing you want to do is just draw some diagonal lines on this. So I'm going to line up my ruler like that. And using whatever pen you fancy, whether that's a chalk pencil, a normal pencil, you're not going to see these lines, so don't worry, okay? Or a washable marker or a Frixion pen, whichever it is you'd like to use. You just want some diagonal lines like that, okay? And I've gone from top left to bottom right on both of them. You're then going to select 36 of your charm pack, okay? And I would suggest going with the darker colours for this. If you've used a cream or a white for your background fabric, then go with the darker ones, because your paler ones or any pale fabrics that are in your charm pack aren't going to show up quite so much, and you'll get a much stronger, more sort of vibrant look to your quilt. So I've just grabbed one of those out, okay? So I've just picked out this pretty sort of charcoal with a little red flower on it. We're now going to alter this block slightly. Now this is really, really easy to do, nice and simple, and it's perfect for beginners. If you're new to quilting, it's brilliant for this, okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to pop this first one up in the top left corner, like that. And then this one's going to go in the top right corner, bottom left. So you want to make sure they're this way round, okay? And you can see those red lines now that I drew in are parallel. Pin those into place just to keep them from moving. And then you would take this over to your sewing machine and you would stitch down the red lines, okay? You don't want to stitch either side or anything like that. You want to go straight down the red line. It's nice and easy because you've got a line there to follow. Once you've done your sewing, you're going to end up with something that looks a little bit like this, okay? Like that. You can see, hopefully you can see that these are now attached to this square. Now you can either line up your rotary cutter like that. So give yourself just a little small seam allowance, about 1/4 inch, it doesn't matter too much, and chop off that excess fabric. Or grab a pair of scissors if you find that easier, and again just chop off this excess fabric, giving yourself a small seam allowance like that. Nice and easy. And just pop those aside. If you're really crazy, you can keep those for a nice small project. I don't. Life's too short for tiny pieces. So I'm just going to make a weeny bit of space here like that, and I'm just going to press these out, okay? So when you press these out, you just want to set your seam first, and what that does is just relax the stitches a little bit, okay, and lets everything sit a lot straighter. And then roll back these fabrics, those little cream background squares, so that you're pressing towards the cream fabric like that, okay? Move that one back there out of the way, and you can see now you've altered that block, so it should look like that. If you've got anything sort of slightly overhanging, I don't know if you can just see that there, just square these off, okay? It's worth doing this little extra step just to make sure the whole quilt goes together nicely. So I'm lining up my ruler along the edge of the patterned fabric and the horizontal line along the top there, and just taking off that excess, okay, like that. You might not have any excess, but if you do, just trim down. You see that one's absolutely fine. I don't need to do anything with that. You're now going to add on a little, one of those little rectangles that you had earlier, okay? What you want to do, first of all, is you're going to do this to all 36 of your squares. Make sure that you've altered all 36, okay? You're then going to add on those 2.5 by 5 inch background fabrics. You want to make sure that they go on all the same way so that all your blocks look the same, okay? So when you've done them all 36, oh, let's have that one the right way round. All 36, they all look exactly the same, like that. So make sure that this is the right way round, and then that is going to get sewn onto the bottom. So I'd put the right sides together, like that, and pin that into place. So I'll just pop a pin in there, like that, just to hold it in there, and you would stitch down 1/4 inch. And once you've stitched down 1/4 inch, let's grab this one, I can show you, like that, you would then just press that out again, just like we did the other ones, towards the background fabric. You would do this again to all 36 blocks, so you would end up with 36 squares, or rectangles now, aren't they, that look like that. You're then going to put them into rows of 6. So you might want to lay this out. It's a lot easier if you've got a space like, you know, on the floor or on a large table. Lay them out and decide where they all want to go. And you're going to do 6 rows of 6, hence why you wanted 36 blocks. You don't want to just lay them out exactly like I've got them here. You want to alternate them. So on my first row, I'm going to have one with the rectangle at the bottom, second one that way up, third one like that, and I just alternate them. Third one like that, there we go, that's the right way around now. Fourth one would be at the top, fifth one at the bottom. So you'd have a row of 6 like that alternating. Your second row, you would alternate that again. So instead of starting with the bottom one, you'd start with the top one and go to the bottom. So it would go bottom, top, like that. The second row would be top, bottom, bottom. And you would put all 36 together. In fact, if we go back over, I can show you to the main quilt. You can see that you do 6 rows with 6 blocks in each, all the way along. And then all I've done is put a little stop border, which is a nice skinny little border, just to frame it, and then added a border on. It gives you all the instructions in the pattern. It's a fully comprehensive pattern, lots and lots of diagrams, lots of pictures in there for you to follow. You can see that it looks quite complicated, but actually incredibly easy to do and perfect for a beginner. So I do hope you'll have a little go.